What's going on YouTube? LTH coming at you with a video. 713 the Bio City win the mother humping building. All right. So yeah, I'm gonna touch on what I didn't touch on in my last video. And and of course I gotta touch on week two of preseason, what can be done better. But before I get into that, I'm gonna get into the news that I just got. And it was no surprise that thanks to the apparent leg injury, which turned out to be serious. It's official that Brevin Jordan will not be playing a single snap in 2025. I mean, this comes to after we resigned this dude like late last season. And of course, he was having a strong camp, trying to prove himself. But, it's unfortunate that his injury happened, while catching the ball. I could be wrong but yeah, man, you know, I was hoping that it wasn't as serious as is, but unfortunately, it is what it is. He's going on the season in the injury reserve, and he will not play in 2025. Man, I gotta say, this mother humping stinks. It stinks. Hate seeing players go down the way they did. So thanks to his injury, might be time for Cade Stover to step it up a notch. And if he got any other tight end, then he might have to step it up too, along with Dalton Schultz, who needs to have a bounce back year for sure. So, wishing Brevin Jordan a speedy recovery, man. I mean, yeah, I understand, probably won't be with us next season in 26, but hey, I wish that man a full recovery. And also, rest CJ Gardner Johnson. I mean, yeah, it wasn't as serious as before, as everyone thought, but still, rest CJ Gardner Johnson now that Jalen Mills is now part of the Texans roster. Rest him like till like week 5 or 6. Hell, or till after the bye week. Rest him till after the bye week, which will be great. Then he should be good to go then. I mean, but everything is possible, even in the strangest of ways. So now to get into this preseason game, and of course, get into what I didn't mention in my week one preseason recap, is Ursary, he looked good, and there's a chance that, the way he looked out there is, assuming that Cam Robinson doesn't play week one, could be a chance that he moves to left tackle, which is Ursary. I mean, and I did mention this last video that Blake Fisher looked like crap, and O line was like okay at best, but O line needs to be a lot better. And also, if Blake Fisher continues to struggle the way he did, might be time to look into another O lineman to sign. And also, run defense, can he could be a lot better as well. Run defense needs to play a lot better because reason being, want to make sure the run defense is prepared when once week one rolls around because you don't want to go into week one playing sloppy on both sides of the ball, and that goes for the offense and defense. So, but like I mentioned, some of the players that played, and or the players that didn't get playing time will get their opportunity to prove themselves. They belong on the 53-man roster. And of course, some of the things to watch for is, the run defense, the O line, the offensive line, which is my two. And see how that goes. And of course, limit the penalties, including the pre-snap penalties, because like I said this before, pre-snap penalties may not seem like a big deal, but in all actuality, yes, it can be when it can be prone to killing drives. So gotta work on those penalties, cut down, play discipline. I mean, like I said, it doesn't matter whether they win or lose, but as long as some, positives come out of this, to see who's thriving and who's slipping, that's all I'm looking at this point. I mean, do the first stringers get playing time this game? Mm, I'm leaning towards 50-50 on this, both offense and defense, but maybe some, but maybe not all the starters will play in this game. But I could be wrong. I truly could be wrong. And also, one thing also to keep an eye on is, Titus Howard, who was injured during practice. He did walk under his own power, but still, keep a close eye on that because, hopefully it's not too serious on his part because he's the best all lineman throughout that whole Texans offensive line. And yeah, he has missed time with injury, including, a season ending injury back in 2023. So, I mean, yeah, all line, still gonna be on my mind for sure. And a run defense and, you know, and hey, and highlight fair and in a red zone on offense. But gonna be interesting to see if the Texans have learned from their mistakes, and pre last week, you know. But I know it's preseason, but you know, and whether we win the game or not, I mean, it's part of getting prepared for the regular season in 2025, to be honest. So yeah, like I said, the run defense, can be a lot better and the O line should play better. Whether it's first, second, or third stringers, you know. But let's see what unfolds this Saturday at noon. So I'll be keeping a close watch on that one. So my next video, LTH checking on up out of here, 713 to Bio City. I'm out.